From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I am Ahmed Ramadan. A new poll shows most Americans reject U.S. involvement in Israel's war on Iran. Details of this survey and more on today's show, so stay tuned. A federal judge today ordered the government to free Columbia University graduate and pro-Palestine activist Mahmoud Khalil. Khalil has been in an immigration detention center since early March, while the Trump administration has tried to deport him. This was over his role in pro-Palestine protests on Columbia's campus last year. He has been charged with no crime. The Trump administration is resuming U.S. student visa interviews, but with strict new rules. Observers say these rules threaten free speech. Under a new State Department directive, applicants must give full access to their social media. Officers will screen for any signs of what it deems hostility towards U.S. culture, government, or principles. Both new and returning students applying for F, M, or J visas will face these ideological checks. Consular staff have been told to take screenshots and detailed notes, and students with past political activism could be flagged or denied entry. Experts say it is a political litmus test, with one calling it a censorship regime, warning that the move could silence voices inside and outside the U.S. The initiative follows detentions of foreign students supporting Palestinian rights. Some have been released, but Columbia student Mahmoud Khalil remains jailed despite a judge ruling his detention is unconstitutional. Advocacy groups say the policy blurs free expression with national security profiling. Police in New York are investigating bomb threats made against Zoharan Mamdani, the progressive Democratic candidate running for mayor of New York City. According to Mamdani's campaign officials, a repeat caller has left disturbing voicemails threatening to bomb his vehicle, despite Mamdani not owning a car. Mamdani blamed rising Islamophobic rhetoric for fueling hate and the threats, which he called violent and specific. The threats come amid rising political tensions targeting Democrats with violence. Fellow progressive Democratic candidate and New York City Comptroller Brad Lander was recently arrested outside immigration court. As well, a gunman killed Democratic Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark Hortman in Minnesota on Saturday. On the same day, he shot Democratic Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette Hoffman, although they survived the targeted shooting. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is also running for mayor of New York City, condemned the threats as unacceptable and urged a return to civil discourse. Police have not yet confirmed any suspects as the investigation continues. A new poll reveals that most Americans do not want the U.S. to intervene in Israel's war on Iran. Conducted by Economist/YouGov, the poll found that 60% of Americans oppose the war. Only 16% support U.S. military action. Across party lines, resistance is strong. 65% of Democrats, 61% of independents, and 53% of Republicans say no to intervention. 24% remain undecided. The poll surveyed over 1,500 adults with a 3% margin of error. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says he will decide in 2 weeks whether to launch strikes on Iran. He hinted that possible talks with Iran could shape that decision. Trump is also under pressure from within his own party. Conservative voices like Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, and Senator Rand Paul warn against another costly foreign war. They argue it would betray Trump's non-interventionist stance during his previous campaign. Israel's military strike on Iran last Friday is leading to a divide among Jewish American organizations. Many progressive organizations have refused to sign a joint statement supporting the attack, which was signed by close to 50 Jewish groups. The statement was issued by the Conference of Presidents of Major Jewish Organizations. However, dissenters objected to its hawkish tone and its praise of President Donald Trump's role in the crisis. The New Jewish Narrative Coalition rejected the statement outright, and its president, Haydar Susskind, said diplomacy, not bombs, is the best way to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. Analysts say the split in the Jewish American community highlights its increasing discomfort over Israel's far-right government, as well as its aggressive military actions in Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran. An Iranian missile strike forced the evacuation of 746 residents from Holon, a city near Tel Aviv. Their homes were severely damaged, with one residential building completely destroyed and 4 others badly hit. The strike is being called the most intense since the current Israel-Iran conflict began last Friday, after Israel launched unprovoked airstrikes on Iran. Tehran responded with a barrage of missile attacks. Israeli media say 271 people were injured in northern and central Israel, 4 seriously. According to the Israeli Broadcasting Authority, 250 families from Holon have been relocated after their homes were declared uninhabitable. The United Nations has once again blacklisted Israeli armed and security forces for grave violations against children in conflict zones. According to a yet-to-be-released 2024 report seen by Anadolu news agency, the UN verified 8,554 violations committed by Israel against 2,959 children in the occupied Palestinian territories. Gaza witnessed 4,856, and the West Bank and East Jerusalem 3,688 violations. The Israeli army and settlers were responsible for 7,188 cases, including detentions, injuries, killings, and denial of humanitarian aid. The report reveals a 50% rise in child deaths and injuries compared to 2023 and a 17% increase in children suffering multiple violations. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called the situation in Gaza catastrophic and man-made. India rejects U.S. mediation in talks with Pakistan. Modi tells Trump, no third parties, only bilateral talks. This and more coming up next. Welcome back. The New Jersey chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is urging all schools to allow students to wear cultural symbols during graduation. It says clothing like the Palestinian kufiya scarf is not just attire, but an expression of heritage, especially for Palestinian and Arab students. The group says that with 1 in 4 New Jersey residents being immigrants or children of immigrants, schools should embrace and celebrate this diversity. Some students have reported being barred from wearing kufiyas at recent ceremonies. This has led to concerns of discrimination. India claims that it rejected any third-party mediation in its issues with Pakistan. A statement by the Indian Foreign Office said Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed this to President Donald Trump in a 35-minute phone call. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said Modi made it clear that New Delhi has never and will never accept any mediation. This comes after Trump claimed credit for brokering a ceasefire last month between the 2 nuclear neighbors amid rising tensions over Kashmir. Modi claimed the ceasefire was arranged through direct military communication and at Pakistan's request, not through U.S. involvement. He reminded Trump that under the 1972 Simla Agreement, India and Pakistan agreed to resolve issues bilaterally. Modi also warned that India will not treat terrorism as proxy warfare but as an act of war. But soon after the meeting, Trump again claimed to have acted to stop the war between India and Pakistan. Amnesty International has called out India for forcibly deporting Rohingya refugees. In a statement, the human rights watchdog urged the Indian government to stop what it said were unlawful removals and investigate recent allegations. Amnesty's chairperson, Akar Patel, said India must ratify the 1951 Refugee Convention and align national laws with global standards. Although it has hosted refugees from Tibet and Sri Lanka in the past, India currently does not recognize Rohingyas as refugees. Patel highlighted shocking cases in the country, including refugees in the capital, New Delhi, being dumped into waters from naval ships and others held indefinitely in Assam. The Indian government told the Supreme Court that it does not accept UNHCR refugee cards and will continue treating them as illegal foreigners. However, Amnesty reminded the Indian government of its duty under international law to avoid sending people back to danger, even if it is not a signatory to the Refugee Convention. More than 40,000 Rohingyas fled to India after brutal military attacks, which many consider genocide, in Burma in 2017. Israel killed at least 50 Palestinians in multiple strikes across Gaza on Friday. In one deadly attack, 23 people were killed and dozens wounded near Al-Shuhada Junction in Nusayrat while waiting for aid, according to Al-Auda Hospital. Another 11 died in a strike on a residential building in Deir al-Balah, said the Palestinian Red Crescent. Israeli drone strikes near Al-Shifa Hospital and Shijaya claimed more lives. In Khan Yunis, Israeli soldiers shot dead a 13-year-old girl and 3 others were killed in a mosque area attack. Israeli jets also bombed a house near Deir al-Balah, killing 8. Israel has killed at least 64,000 Palestinians since October 2023. It is facing charges of genocide and war crimes at the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court for its violence in Gaza. Bank Muamalat has launched Malaysia's first AI-powered Islamic digital-only bank in partnership with fintech firm Backbase. The new platform, called Atlas, offers Sharia-compliant financing and personalized financial services, among other benefits. Bank Muamalat CEO Khalil calls it a bold reimagination of Islamic finance for the digital age, with more features coming soon. Experts say that with the launch of Atlas, Bank Muamalat aims to lead Malaysia's growing Islamic digital banking sector while offering a secure, inclusive, and purpose-driven banking experience. For the first time ever, scientists in Japan have been able to remove the extra chromosome that causes Down syndrome in human cells grown in a lab. The technique has been named Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats, or CRISPR-Cas9. The extra chromosome, known as trisomy 21, was successfully eliminated using precise gene editing. In the United States, Down syndrome affects around 1 in every 700 births. Although life expectancy for individuals with Down syndrome has greatly improved, adults with the condition remain at high risk for Alzheimer's disease and heart problems. Although researchers say the breakthrough is not a treatment or cure yet, it offers new hope and a powerful tool for future breakthroughs in genetic medicine. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.